What's up YouTube, it's District RC back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the modifications I have made to the Wltoys 12428 or the Across. So the biggest modification I just did was I changed the battery tray to a custom design I 3D printed. But the earlier modifications I've done are change the shocks to actual oil-filled shocks. There you go, now you can see them. And they do work. The shocks are a bit stiff, but because I use this vehicle mostly at skate parks and has a lot of rough landings, that's okay with me. I put a brushless system in there. I think that's a Ghoul RC motor mated to a Surpass Hobby ESC. Man, that's hard to see, for y'all to see. And then I have no clue who makes that radio and transmitter. I'll show you the transmitter real quick. This is the transmitter. No branding on it whatsoever. I was having issues with the brushless system in this vehicle at first. I bought one of the kits for like 50 bucks, which included servo, which is down there, metal servo, new radio gear, new electronics, all of the electronics that were replaced except for like the lights. But I was having issues with like the vehicle like wanting to start. The ESC would like turn on and go beep, beep, and then it would go beep, 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 beep. Kind of sounded like an alarm clock going off. And eventually I was just sick and tired of it, and I was like, I don't know if the transmitter is what's bad because like it wasn't moving. I don't know if the ESC is what's bad, but I changed the ESC out to this one. Actually, the ESC I showed y'all that was in the Wltoys buggy, that 10-scale buggy from last week's video. That was the ESC that came with this setup. But once I de-paired or like unmatched the ESC with that motor, everything works fine. Like that old ESC works fine with other motors, and then this motor works fine with the Surpass Hobby ESC. So I don't know what was going on, why they weren't talking to each other well, but anyway, if y'all have that issue, there you go. Now on to the modifications that I've been working on this weekend. Or this past weekend for y'all. So the old battery that came in this vehicle is this 2-cell lithium-ion battery. There's the specs. And it fits in here like so, if I can get it in because I'm doing this one-handed. And then this goes on top of it. There used to be a part back here that stuck up that this would slide into, kind of like the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 VXL body mounting system. Basically the same idea. And then there was also a piece that went right here that stuck up where the body little body post was on and the body pin slid through. I cut both of those off and took these parts off. I just put these back on for the video. They've been off of the car for basically since I got it. Because I wanted to run these batteries, which is what basically every other Wltoys comes with. It's a 2-cell 2200 milliamp hour LiPo rather than the lithium ion. And so these have a little bit more punch and they last quite a bit longer. But the problem was it doesn't fit. It's too long. And so you can either run it sticking out like this, or try this right-handed, sticking out like this. But then the wires get in the way, and it's just really not good. I usually ran it this way, just without these pieces here. Because in the vehicle, then I would just put this part of the battery up against the gearbox. I'll circle it. And then I ran this E-Sheen Velcro strap through these side parts here, which were clearly designed for Velcro. But that still didn't hold the battery very well in because it's not exactly in the center of the battery, it's offset. And so I ran this Apex products, something off of eBay. I got like a 4-pack for a couple bucks. Around long ways, so this way on the battery, not this way on the battery, because that held it in better. It didn't, obviously, as you can see, there's like no place for the Velcro to slide in. So the way I kept it secure was by using the shorter Velcro strap, like I am right now. And then on the bottom, same kind of deal. I ran the tall one under the long one, the short one. So, but I've been thinking for a while, I like to run these batteries in the car, not that one, because longer run time, and whenever I run 3S, the 3S battery is close to the same size as the 2S batteries, and I chose that for a reason. Because this 3S battery can run in pretty much all the Wltoys cars that run on these, because it's just slightly taller, and as far as the length goes, it's minuscule amount longer, but so it fits. So what I did was I designed up a new battery tray off of this one. I took all the dimensions of this one minus this little weird part right here, how it's vertical and then goes up at an angle. I just made a plain angle right here, and then same thing in the back, just a plain angle, because that was easier to work with rather than this weird curved thing. It's just 90 degrees. I don't know what that angle measurement is. I just measured the distance from here to here, the width, and then said, okay, the line, and then measured the distance from this point, the inside point, not the Velcro, to this point here, and was like, okay, now I know the height. And then from there, I knew my length and height measurements, and I just connected them via the hypotenuse and triangle made without actually having to know the angle. And then the same thing with this side piece here. Didn't want to measure the actual angle because that's way too hard to figure out. Just did the same thing. And then how I made this battery fit was after I CAD modeled this thing up with all the cutouts. There you go. You can see the cutouts are all there. I just extended the back part, so it goes closer to the gearbox. It goes beyond where it would normally stop. Let's see if I can get some camera to focus on there. There, you can kind of see it. The old battery box would stop pretty much like right here my finger is, and so you can see there's extra length beyond it with the new battery box. I did include these little screw pegs here, which is what holds this part, because I'm thinking about putting this thing on Etsy or Pinterest or Thingiverse or Printable or something like that, so that other people can use the same design. But I don't personally use these, and they're not necessary for the vehicle, so do as you please. This is not the final design of the battery tray, though. Let me show you the CAD model of it real quick, and I'll show you the design changes I've made since installing this one. Okay, so this is the battery tray I was just showing y'all. And the big design changes are, I have added these little holders for the vertical strap, the one that's going to go this way. And then I also added this extra little bar here going along the bottom of the battery tray, just to give it a little bit more strength. And then the other change compared to the original battery box was the main reason I couldn't extend the, let me grab it real quick. The main reason I couldn't extend the battery very nicely out the back end this way was because of the screw holes for the mounting the battery tray. Let me go above the computer real quick. This screw hole and the one on the other side. So I mounted them on my design below the battery tray in order to be able to hold longer batteries better. Which you can see, that's why it's like that. And I'll show you the side view of it real quick. Oop, wrong way. There you go. There's the back. There's the front. Yeah. So my first prototype, before I had added all these different things, I had to adjust because I had got my dimension for the distance between this screw holder and this one wrong. So I bent it in half, and where it broke was this part here, and then kind of right here in the center, just above this triangle. That's where it split. So that's when I went ahead and added that bottom bar, just to add a little bit more strength and give it some extra rigidity and torsion. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, I haven't done anything with this yet as far as uploading it online. I don't have an Etsy account, don't have a Thingiverse account or any of those. But if y'all would like me to upload the 3D files for these, I am willing to do that. Just let me know in the comments below. And if I get enough people saying y'all would like it, I'll also, not only will I upload in the comments below, but I'll add my link to the file where you can get this printed in the description. Also, if y'all would like to buy these because you don't have a 3D printer, I can make provisions for that as well. I'll probably sell them for like $5 each, just to cover my time and labor costs for designing all that. I think I went through 4 iterations over the process of 6 hours, and it's a 1 hour and 5-10 minute print. So that's my justification behind the cost behind it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and have a great day.